It's the Xbox Spring Sale. So we checked this out the other day, but some of the stuff wasn't there, and I think we could do a better look-see through this that's a little bit more precise and kind of goes over everything. So this is in USD, the US currency. Be sure to like the videos. Subscribing is great as well. Let's dive in and take a look at the game deals. So for this sale, it ends on the 30th, and yeah, there's some deep cuts in this. It's not the best of necessarily sales, but there's some solid stuff on this. And yeah, let's dive in and take a look at things. So we've got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is apparently a very hot item for people, as far as something that a lot of people have been desiring. First sale for WWE, as with all the sports games, I recommend that you take a look at the particular bundles and buy what is necessary for your particular console. Same with like FIFA here, but we've got a FIFA new one will be in September, but you know, not a bad deal. I think it's on Game Pass or coming to Game Pass. Yeah, I have a real spring in my step. When did this start? Late last night was when it kind of started. We got Black Ops 6, which again is on Game Pass. That's a lot of the things in this sale. A lot of this stuff's just on Game Pass. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but it's just the gold edition, which kind of drops it down to the price of the regular edition. So I guess the idea is to get you to buy, you know, it's like $10. Anyways, it's just about the same price, but you get the extra stuff with it. So, and this is the first deal for PGA Tour 2K25, but again, different bundles and that are available if you want to go for these options here. So a few different bundled options. We got Dragon Age the Veilguard, which I believe should be coming to Game Pass in the near future, so I don't know if you need to buy that one. 45% is a pretty good cut for something that came out not too long ago, but still, it's like, you know, price-wise, Diablo 4, you know, if you want to buy it with the expansion, I think this is the first deep cut for the deepest cut we've seen for the expansion thus far. We've got the MVP bundle, but this stuff's on Game Pass. Baldur's Gate, you can get the regular edition or the deluxe edition, 20% off both. So, you know, this is about the same as the usual goes on sale for. Phasmophobia, pretty fun. Still in game preview, but pretty enjoyable experience. So that's like, you know, a little bit of a savings. Avowed, but it is on Game Pass. You can get the premium or the regular edition. We got the Stalker trilogy. So Stalker is getting a next-gen update in the near future. Like, it's already next-gen aware, but it's getting like a proper next-gen update somewhere down the road. I think this is the deepest cut for Avatar. Wasn't a huge fan of this necessarily, but, you know, pretty good price. Elden Ring, usual price point, but it doesn't include the Erdtree thing, so you'd have to grab the DLC expansion if you still wanted that. Marvel vs. Capcom. I think this is the first sale we've seen for this package. The second one is coming in May, so not a bad deal. Again, more of your sports fodder. Stray's really fun. You're like a cyberpunk cat. That's a pretty good deal on it. Space Marine is a bundle of joy. I think this is the deepest cut we've seen so far for this one. Fortnite stuff, the Doom Anthology bundle, but again, all that stuff's on Game Pass. But if you want to get ready for the new Doom, it's kind of worth going for. Subnautica, pretty good price point. It's a fun oceanic survival game, but I think it's also on Game Pass, isn't it? Yeah, so, you know, there you go. Alan Wake 2, I think it's just the deluxe edition is on sale, so if you want to get all the expansion stuff, which honestly adds a lot to the experience, you know, that's a good deal. Lord of the Rings is kind of, you know, mining open world survival game. Hitman, World Assassination, you get all the Hitman stuff. $30, it's like a steal for this. You get all 3 games upgraded, all the content, all the maps, all the stuff like that. Pretty good. I like Starship Troopers a lot. I believe the player base has waned slightly, but, you know, it is a really fun game to play. We got Dying Light 2, and there is a bundle with extra DLC stuff if you want to go for that, but yeah, that's Dying Light 2. That's not a bad price point, honestly, for it. Red Dead 2, great price point, $15. Ultimate Edition, you know, $20. Like, honestly, not a bad price there. Ninja Gaiden, I think this is our first deep cut for this. This is Flight Sim 40th. Keep in mind that there's a newer version of Flight Sim, which is like a stream version of Flight Sim. Not quite as good, but this version is pretty solid. So it's, you know, pretty feature complete with the 40th anniversary, but it's also on Game Pass. Typical Forza stuff, Dynasty Warriors. Hogwarts Legacy. So Hogwarts Legacy is basically. Oh, thanks for coming to channel member there again, Jason Lives. Great deal. You get the deluxe edition, the full version of it. And one sec, I just gotta text some stuff. There we go. I gotta fill out a form. Yeah, Fallout 76 again. Like, I guess you can buy to own it, but it's on Game Pass, so don't really see what you get from missing out on that. If you're buying Grand Theft Auto 5, make sure you are buying the proper version for whatever platform you are grabbing. Then we got Star Wars Outlaws, which I think this is the deepest cut on this game thus far. You may want to get the gold edition for some extra content, extra DLC stuff, but totally up to you and how you want to go about it. Death Stranding, this is the deepest cut we've seen on Xbox thus far, because it just kind of arrived. I'm not huge on Death Stranding, but I know a lot of people love walking. The Batman Arkham Collection, that's not a bad deal. I think there's also, the premium, you can get the premium edition for Arkham Knight, so it depends on what you want. This one comes with the 3 different Batman games, so it's not a bad deal at all. Okay, one sec, I've just got to sign on my house thing. Okay. I just gotta do my initials. One sec. Finished. And bam, just bought a house. Alrighty, cool. Great. Yeah, we've got Dragon's Dogma 2, which I love. Great game. Definitely worth checking out. The deluxe edition, it just gives you some extra stuff, but the main game's fine. NHL, I think they just added this to Game Pass. Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is a lot of fun. If you're buying any Ubisoft stuff, make sure you check the bundles, because there's like 4 billion bundle options, so that's kind of exciting. The Mafia Trilogy, this is a great deal, $15, 3 great games, absolutely worth it, and a lot of fun to grab. Ark Survival Ascended, this is the remake, so there's bundles, they keep adding stuff to it, and yeah, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I think it's on Game Pass 3 play, so, if you want to buy to own it, it's like $20, pretty good cut there. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, this game is, like, not great, but, like, for $10, it's, like, not bad, so, yeah. The Crew Motorfest, a lot of fun. If you like Forza, you like the Crew, it's like kind of like a Hawaii island. It Takes Two is great, but that's also on Game Pass. Resident Evil, I would recommend instead buying the remake trilogy bundle. Unless you own different versions of this, you get all of the stuff. It's just better bang for your buck, or just like honestly splurging for the extra stuff. Like Separate Ways is a DLC that's like a whole full game there. Yep. Bought a house while I'm doing the Xbox sales. I'm getting it done, guys. I'm making deals. Did I overpay? Oh, it seems like it. I don't know. I got it, though. Yep, it's mine. I'm going to be swamped and not have money for the rest of my life. Anyways, there we go. Mortal Kombat 1, you get a collection with a bunch of stuff in it. RoboCop is a lot of fun. The expansion's coming soon, so, $12 to get into RoboCop, I think, is a bit of a deal for sure there. Yeah. Sniper Elite, I think this is the first sale for this one. It's on Game Pass too. Banishers is okay. I think for $30 you can kind of get your value out of that one. It's not Souls-like, but it's got some combat that's like that. Cuphead, 30% off if you want the DLC and the stuff where you can buy it without the DLC. Terminator Resistance, I don't know if this is the next-gen version, because this is a game where I would recommend make sure you know which version you're buying, because I believe there is a separate next-gen version of the Terminator game. Hypercharge is pretty fun. It's like basically like Toy Soldiers kind of thing. 12 bedroom. Yeah, no way, not in this economy. Redfall, it's too much is what it is. Oh, I'm gonna die. This house is I just, like, it just happened, I went in, I was like, okay, I guess we're bidding on this, and I got the house. I didn't think I was gonna get it. I got it now. I'm in a panic. I'm fucking panicking. Jesus Christ. Abzu is kind of fun. Abzu is a, fun aquatic adventure. One sec here. I gotta make sure it was signed on another end. So yeah, Abzu is kind of cool. It's an underwater aquatic adventure, pretty cool, pretty zen, kind of fun. A Plague Tale's really, really good. I mean, you can play it standalone. Um, yeah, let's go for what's next. Ace Combat. I think this is like one of the cheaper things for Ace Combat. I think it was around this price all the time. Yeah. Then we've got. So this game is like Diablo kind of, but you're Achilles. It's a little more indie leaning, but it's actually a pretty decent experience, I would say. Um, this game isn't very good, but for $1.50, it's not a bad experience. Honestly. Eterna Noctis. I think I did a sponsored video for this one. This one's kind of neat looking. It's got an interesting art aesthetic, little Souls-like. Yeah, actually, that one's pretty recommendable. Age of Mythology, if you want to buy to own, but it's on Game Pass. Same with all the Age of Empires canon fodder. I mean, eventually you'll get it all on PlayStation. Aim Labs. Oh, this thing is like free, but if you want like a better version of it, it's on sale. We got your Alan Wakes. So Alan Wake 1 is FPS boosted. Some people say Alan Wake Remastered kind of messes with things a little bit. How many acres? Like no acres. I got like a little lawn. Jeez. Well, let's focus on the sales for now, guys. Akambot's kind of a decent kind of action platformer game. It's kind of it's pretty solid actually. It's kind of neat. It's not too bad. And then Alan Wake's American Nightmare. So kind of like like Alan Wake's one of the best games ever, but it determines on like which visuals you want. And then Alan Wake's American Nightmare expands that, which is nice. What is that? Aliens. Fireteam Elite is like Left 4 Dead, but Aliens it's pretty decent. The second one's coming. Aliens Dark Descent is on Game Pass, but it's like turn-based Aliens, which is kind of neat. And then Alien Isolation is FPS boosted, and for $10, it's a pretty good deal, I would say. Definitely worth your bang for your buck. Now, Vertigo. I actually like this game, so don't read about this. It's called Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, but it has nothing to do with the movie Vertigo at all. It's just kind of taking the concept of it. But this is actually a really fun, decently lengthy experience. It's kind of like a Telltale-like thing. I actually like the mystery of it. I actually found this to be pretty decent. This is actually a game I recommend. I think $6 is a pretty good deal for this one. This game is pretty cool too. I don't think I ever made a video for this, but this is a cutesy. Yeah, $3. This is a really cutesy kind of like kart racer game. If you like Kart Racer. Alone in the Dark, this one's okay, but I don't know, I'd maybe wait for a deeper price cut than that. The Amnesia Collection for $3 is a steal. Let's see what else we got here. Anno is coming to Game Pass soon. Anima? I don't know what Anima is. Another Crab's Treasure. This is Crab Souls, so it's not bad. Yes, it'll have fiber. I think, actually. Yeah, no, it's new. It'll have fiber. It'll be fine. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. it was a very rush today. Yeah, no, all the better places have fiber. I'm moving up in the world, guys. Let's just focus on the sales though for now. All the old arcade series stuff are like $2 each, so kind of fun if you want to play like old school Galaga and stuff like that. WWE, yeah, it's a pretty good deal considering it just came out. We've got a pretty good price cut on Armored Core 6. I think this is the deepest they've done. They don't tend to go on sale very often. This is your best bang for your buck as far as Creed goes, because you get like all the Creeds. It's just kind of the base versions, but you do get like, again, for $40, you just get like a stack of Assassin's Creed games. But as always, Ubisoft games, make sure you pick and choose through the bundles and everything like that. And yeah, again, it was a very rushed thing to get the house bought today. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it was pretty rushed. It's a newer neighborhood, so it'll have fiber. But I didn't really check all this other stuff. Yeah. Anyways, let's get on going. We've got Astroneer is pretty fun. I think it's on Game Pass, but I think they're working on like a spin-off or something like that. Yeah. What else we got? The Atari Flashback Collections. These are actually kind of cool if you like old Atari games. They're like $6 a pop. It's not bad. This game has never left game preview. It's basically like an Ark spinoff, but with pirates. It's kind of decent, but like, yeah, it's never left preview. They kind of abandoned it. Other stuff. Back for Blood for $10 is pretty good. What else we got? Bang on Balls. I actually kind of like this game. It's cutesy. I checked out the version before it was optimized, but for $10, like it's actually like a cute little game where you're like a platformer and you're like a ball going around with all these different shapes. Barbie Project Friendship. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Oh, there's that surfing game. Is Caleb in here? Somebody tell Caleb the surfing game is on sale. You hate old, of course you hate old Atari games. What else we got here? Batman the Telltale series. That's actually pretty solid Batman experience. And then your Battlefield cannon fodder for cheap prices if you want to buy to own. Beach buggy racing is actually pretty adorable for $3. It's like really good for families and stuff like that. And it's that time where I'm like, hey yo, be sure to like the streams, subscribing's great, donations cool. I'm gonna need money. The Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, and the Amazon store affiliate link. Woo! Oh, there's a second beach buggy racing. Wow. Anyways. What else is there? Oh, Beat Buddy. This game was kind of cute, I think. Was this the Beat Buddy I was thinking of? There was like a thing with this game's kind of a cute little thing. Maybe worth taking a look at for $2. Biomute's okay for $10. Yeah. Bang on Paul's blows. You did like it? I thought it was a cutesy little thing where your ball kind of going around destroying stuff. Besiege is kind of neat. You're like destroying things and everything. Yeah, I'm just getting congratulated on my purchase. It was an incredible value. Yeah, okay. Anyways, BioShock the collection, $10 is a great deal for it. So, you know, definitely a good must-buy experience for $10. They're supposed to do the spring sale like 2 weeks ago. It's like really delayed. Black Desert, $3 is really good for this one. They're supposed to be doing a proper full next-gen update to the game soon, so, you know, keep that in mind. Blacktail's actually kind of a neat Baba Yaga story. Like, I played this. It's just crazy, but it's actually worth taking a look at, honestly. It's a very, very neat game. The Blood Rain games, apparently not the greatest ports and stuff like that. Yeah. What else have we got here? Blue Dragon, this one always goes on sale for 75% off, so nothing too crazy, but as I always say for 360 games, buy them before they are gone. Bluey for the family is actually pretty good for kids. Borderlands, you know, you pick your poison. The Pandora box is a pretty good value. You get like the entire franchise, all this DLC. Bound by Flame is kind of neat, so this is a bit of a Souls-like kind of game. But for $2, it's not a bad deal at all. Broken Age, that's on Game Pass, though. Brutal Legend, you know, buy to own. Bugsnax for $7.49 is a really, really good deal. Really, really good deal. So, yeah, $7.49 is pretty good. Bulletstorm, we were just playing this, but if you are buying Bulletstorm, make sure you buy like the Duke Nukem DLC because I think it adds a lot to it. But $3.99 for Bulletstorm is a pretty good deal. Burnout Paradise Remastered, it's on Game Pass through EA Play, but $5 for that is not bad at all. Bunny Park's on sale for $3. That's what I'm talking about. Manage your own bunny park. Call of Cthulhu is a pretty decent game for $4. It's a pretty decent adventure. I think that one's worth taking a look at. You got your Call of Duty cannon fodder. Theoretically, it should be on Game Pass. I kind of gave up on it, but, you know, theoretically it should be. Castle Crashers, classic hack and slash. Castlevania, Lords of Shadows 2. It's kind of weird that the other one isn't on sale. You just get the second one. What else we got here? Chicken Madness? What is Chicken Madness? Chivalry I always recommend, but it's on Game Pass. But if you want to buy to own, $10. Not bad, not bad. Various City Skylines. City of Brass I quite like. This is a roguelike experience. It's $2. It's kind of like a first-person hack and slash adventure in the desert kind of game. I actually really like that one, so definitely a recommend on it. Clue I really got to check out at some point. Calaveras Gunslinger for $3 is pretty good. It's a solid campaign, everything like that. Pretty solid for that experience. What else we got here? Company of Heroes, Conan Exiles. It's like kind of like Ark, but Conan and stuff like that. Coral Island's kind of adorable. I don't know if they fixed that one up from the launch, but that's like a Harvest Moon kind of game. And then you got your various Crash bundles. Some of the stuff's on Game Pass, some of it isn't. Check your bundles for what you need. Crimson Skies, that's on Game Pass, but that's an all-time classic kind of fun fighter pilot thing. Crimson Spires looks really seductive, is what that looks like. Crusader Kings, which is again on Game Pass, but it is a very strategic, intense game. Kevin on the channel loves it. The Crisis Remastered Trilogy Pack is an incredible deal. $12.49, you get 3 really great remastered shooters. Definitely worth it. Definitely a fun time. Yeah, I don't know why Chivalry's got 2 stars. People are crazy. Honestly crazy. Cult of the Lamb, I think they fixed that one up. I love D4. It's a cliffhanger ending. It doesn't go anywhere, but man, this is one of the craziest games I've ever seen. It's really, really cool. Darkest Dungeon stuff just left Game Pass. Daymare, if you like Resident Evil, it's kind of like an indie-ish version of that. Like an indie-like, I guess is better terminology. Various Dead by Daylight bundles, your Dead Island stuff, Dead Island Definitive Edition, you get 1 and 2. Lightly remastered, 120 FPS with FPS boost. Pretty good deal. Not bad at all. Dead or Alive. That one's free to play, but I guess you get the full game with all the fighters. And then you got your various Dead Rising packs. Now, typically, buying the Dead Rising bundles is the best bang for your buck, but now they've stopped selling Dead Rising 1 because they're trying to push you to buy the Dead Rising Remaster. So they never give you a deal on that, but Dead Rising 2 off the record is kind of a must-play for $5. It's a great deal. Or you get Dead Rising 3 for $6. That's not bad. Dead Rising 4 for $6. Oh, that franchise has fallen from grace. Yeah, like Dead Space. Dead Space is Dead Space. Deep Beyond's actually a really cool little indie game. $5, not bad for it. It's like an aquatic adventure. It's got a neat art aesthetic, some puzzles, stuff like that. I really like Crash Team Rumble, but that game is super dead, so I can't really recommend it. But it's a lot of fun. If they add it to Game Pass someday, I recommend playing it. I love Crash Team Rumble, but it's super dead. Super, super dead. Deep Rock Galactic, Dwarven Mining, but it's on Game Pass. If you want to buy to own, it's $10. Deliver Us Mars, I actually really like the Deliver Us series. I haven't gotten around to this one as far as a stream yet, but it's pretty cool. $9, not bad. The Deus Ex games, I think, are a steal for $2, $5. Very, very good games. I think they're FPS boosted too, both of them. Devil May Cry, we got the Devil May Cry collection, pretty good prices, but about the usual. Then your Diablo stuff, Diablo pricing is same as it always is. Dishonored stuff, which again you can buy as like an Arcane collection bundle, which is $55. So that's kind of better, but it's on Game Pass. Shouldn't be leaving Game Pass. So there's not really necessarily a reason to buy them. Dreamlight Valley is really good it's good for the younger ones. It's basically like an Animal Crossing kind of thing with Disney characters. Epic Mickey 2 is pretty fun. $5 is good. Disneyland, really good for the younger ones. You just go to around Disneyland Park doing mini games. And then your Dooms, but I mentioned the Doom Collection is better. You got your Dragon Ages, if you want to reminisce and remember when Dragon Age was a franchise that still existed before Veilguard killed it. And if you want the first Dragon's Dogma, $5, pretty good. What else we got here? Duke Nukem 3D, it's not a great port or anything like that, but $2. Not bad. $2, not bad at all. Dustborn, I'm just kidding, that game's weird. Dying Light, updated, everything like that for the current gen, $4. Pretty great. What else do we got here? El Paso Elsewhere. That game's kind of neat. It's like a vampire kind of killing thing, Not crazy price. Oh, we just did Elderborn. It's a Souls-like first-person kind of game, but, $9, yeah. Not bad. What else we got here? Everspace, if you like ship flying, $3. Not a bad entry point cost for that one. You got your Fables, which they're all on Game Pass, so you can buy it for like $7 a pop. Fairy is not bad for like $1.40. You know, I think like any game is worth like $1. You know what I mean? Like $1 for any game is usually pretty worthwhile, but it's kind of a dumb little silly thing. I did a video on it a long time ago, but for like $1.49, you know, it's not bad. And then your Far Cries, which again, you know, check your bundles, make your pick. Farm Together is a really cool social farming game for like $8. It's actually like pretty good time value. I had a lot of fun playing that game. Fight Night if you want to buy to own. Fern Bus Simulator. That's what I'm talking about. What else we got here? Flintlock. That game didn't go over very well. What else we got? Lots of indie stuff on this sale. Frog Gun Encore. What? A dashing sequel. A Fortified's actually kind of neat, especially if you have like a group of pals. It's like a tower defense game in a like alternate 1950s. Kind of a neat one. Full Metal Furies for like $2. It's actually like a pretty fun little shooter thing. It's pretty solid. What else we got? Funko Fusion. I think for $21, Funko Fusion's kind of worth it. It's like a bunch of IPs, and it's not like the greatest game, but you know, again, it depends if you like the franchises it plays with. Garfield Kart Racing. Whoa! That's what I'm talking about. The Gears franchise. We got Ghost Runners. If you want to buy like parkour, cyberpunk kind of things, it's not bad. Ghostwire Tokyo, but it's on Game Pass. Pretty fun. I think it's worth $15. Gimmick 2. Yeah, Gimmick 1 never gimmicked me anything. Go Mecha Ball is actually really, really fun. Twin stick shooter game. It's on Game Pass though, but yeah, that one's actually really, really enjoyable. At least it is for me. Let's see what else we got here. Gotham Knights for $10 is not bad. Yeah, Gotham Knights for $10 is not a bad experience. Yeah, just messaging Kevin right now. Going through a lot of emotions with the house buy. A lot of emotions. Gravel is really good. It actually got a surprise current gen update. Looks good, fun game, $3, definitely a steal. Now Grapple Dog's kind of cute. Green Hell, make sure you're buying the right version. The next gen version is pretty, a little buggy and stuff like that. Greedfall, this game's really neat. There's a sequel coming. It's a cool role-playing game. I recommend taking a look at this one, for sure. Okay. Grey World Skies of Tomorrow. What is this? What? I have never heard of this game. This might be worth buying for a video. How much is this? 2020? I never even saw this. I'm gonna grab a picture of that because yeah, I might pick that up to do a video on Grey Skies War of Worlds story. Grid Legends is a lot of fun. It's on Game Pass, though. GTA, I think this is about the usual deepest cut they do is 60% off the GTA trilogy, so you can go for that. Guardians of the Galaxy, phenomenal. $10, must buy. Definitely worth it. Guns Gore Cannoli is pretty fun if you like side-scrolling shooters. You got your Halo Cannon Fodder. Harvest Moon, if you're into the Harvest Moon series, The Winds of Anthos is actually pretty good. Yeah. Let's see what else there is. Hellblades, if you want to buy to own, but it's on Game Pass. Hellboy's kind of neat. That's a kind of a roguelike third-person kind of shooter thing. It's a really neat art style. High on Life, if you want to buy to own. I don't know if the bundle's not on sale, though, so you don't get High on Knife. Hidden Through Time, these are adorable, like, search and find games. They're actually really, really great. Yeah, Homefront the Revolution. Not a great game. It's FPS boosted. It's terrible, but for $4, $4 it might not be bad. Oh, Hydrophobia. This one's actually kind of neat. I'm always surprised this one isn't on Game Pass because it's Microsoft published, but sort of a indie arcade kind of Tomb Raider sort of thing. It's not bad. It punches above its weight class. Redneck, Immortal Redneck is actually a really, really fun shooter game. It's a roguelite FPS game, and I actually do really recommend Immortal Redneck. That one is a lot of fun. We got your Injustices. There's usually an Injustice bundle. Yeah, so this is a better bang for your buck, $10. You get the Ultimate Edition of Mortal Kombat 11 and the Legendary version of Injustice 2. Injustice 1, buy to own, $5, same as usual. Ion Fury, this game's a blast. 624, definitely worth it if you like old school like boomer shooters. Very, very good. The Inquisitor, you get to be Jesus' Witcher. That game is a special kind of horrific, but it's an experience. Iron Harvest, very good RTS, real-time strategy game. Actually quite enjoyable, really neat aesthetic and everything like that. Quiz Time, if you like doing quiz stuff, $10 is pretty good for quiz time. Jade Empire, one of the all-time great games, $2.49, definitely a must-play, must-buy. Let's see what else we got here. Running a Dino Park, your Jurassic Park stuff. What else is there? Colot. I might buy Colot. It's like a few dollars, and yeah, that one's supposed to be a neat experience. If you haven't bought Kenna, it's $20, 50% off. It's not bad for Kenna for $20. Kingdom Come 1, if you like Kingdom Come 2, Kingdom Come 1's not bad for $10. Kong, Survival Instinct, LA Noir. I think this is the cheapest it goes, is like 50% off. Yeah, I think that's the cheapest it goes. Leap is a dead game, I'm pretty sure. It's multiplayer, but there's no one that plays it, and it doesn't have bots, so that's pretty dead. Lego Drive's really good for the younger ones. All the Lego stuff on sale, it's usually like $5 a pop for Lego stuff. But the Lego Marvel Collection is the best deal you get. So you get Lego Superheroes 1, 2, and Lego Marvel's Avengers. And all the DLC for like less than $10. Amazing value. Absolutely amazing value. And Yakuza stuff. A little Nightmare series a lot of people like. Gollum for the precious edition of Gollum for $6. Hold the phone. You're saying you can get Gollum with all the Gollum DLC for $6? I think Gollum would be heartbroken if you guys don't embrace him. Let's see what else we got here. Lords of the Fallen just did a big 2.0 update, so you might want to jump in on that. I got to do a video on that when I have a moment. Lost Odyssey, pretty good JRPG. 624, it's not bad for that price. You got your Lost Planets. I recommend... Well, actually, I need the Lost Planets. They're fun. Lost Planet 3 isn't quite the same as the others, but it's more like... Dead Space. Yeah, it's more like Dead Space, which you might like. Ooh, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time is really good for couch co-op. Very, very good for couch co-op. Mad Max, always a good recommendation. 120 FPS. It's on sale for $5 all the time. If you don't buy it now, it'll be on sale again in another month or so. Midnight Suns, great turn-based Marvel game. Actually, really, really good. Nobody checks it out. Nobody plays it. Mass Effect, Legendary Edition. $6 is a steal, but it's on Game Pass through the EA Play. What else do we got here? Meteor Maker is kind of neat. This is a game where you are either attacking a place of traps to try to get treasure, or you are making the base of traps for someone else to try to get into. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then we've got, Megaton Rainfall. I just did a video on this. So you're like a god simulator. It's sort of neat. $6. It holds up pretty well. And then the Metal Gear Collection is probably the best bang for your buck. But, if you want to buy the different Metal Gears, stay away from Survive. The Metro Saga Bundle, $15. Always an easy recommend. Very, very good. Redux. And the Redux versions are FPS boosted. And Exodus is like ray traced and everything. It's beautiful. Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, the bundle is a better bang for your buck. Pretty good games. I call them like Assassin's Creed on steroids. There's first one and second one. Very, very good games. Monster Hunter Rise and the other Monster Hunters. So if you can't get enough Monster Hunter Wilds, you can go back, and Worlds is pretty good, and Rise is a more contained Switch version. Yeah. You bought the Doom wrap. Why? Why would you do that? What else we got? Morbid. That's kind of like an indie Souls-like. It's okay. Mortal Kombat XL. I assume someday this will get delisted. So for $5, it's not bad. Metro, yeah, the first Metro, they're supposed to be re-adding to the store for free, so you might want to wait, but the bundle is still a really good deal, regardless. My Time at Portia, it's kind of like a Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing-like thing, and then the sequel is My Time at Sandrock. Pretty good deal for those. We've got... What else have we got here? There's some other stuff. Your Need for Speed cannon fodder. You got your Ninja Gaidens, the Old Master Collection. I don't know why they're still charging $15 for Ninja Gaiden 2. I guess it's to encourage you to buy the newer one. And then your Oddworld games. Oh, Octodad's $3. That one's kind of fun. But yeah, you got your Oddworld games, pretty cool experiences. I would say Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD is really neat. It's like a shooter game, but it's like a hunting kind of shooter game. So, yeah, that's not a bad option. What else is there? Orcs Must Die. I really like the Orcs Must Die series. Orcs Must Die 3 is a great bang for your buck for $9. So is Death Trap. That one's new, just came out, but it's on Game Pass. Onimusha, they're doing a sequel. I just did a video for this this last week. $10, not bad for Onimusha. And what else we got here? Outer Wilds. A lot of people love that game. 40% off. Not bad. Not bad at all. What else we got here? If you liked Baldur's Gate, Pathfinder's a really good option. It's an alternative kind of thing, and this comes with a bunch of the premium expansions. For the kids, Paw Patrol, Peppa Pig, and then you got your Persona 3 and your Persona 5 Tactics. Pretty good deal cuts on those ones. We talked about the golf stuff. Pillars of Eternity is great, but it's on Game Pass. You got your Planet Coasters if you want to make an amusement park, or Planet Zoo if you want to run a zoo. Your Plants vs. Zombie stuff, that's all on Game Pass. Portal Knights is not bad for $6. That's more for ages. It's like teenager kind of age, like 10 plus or something like that. It's like Minecraft but with a little bit more questing to it. Praise, which again, Game Pass for Prey. Lots of other stuff. Psychonauts 2 is great, but it's on Game Pass. Actually, how much is Psychonauts 2? $12. That's really good for that. Okay, Quakes, which again, this stuff's all on Game Pass, so $4. It's not bad if you want to play classic Quake and you don't want to play it through Game Pass. We already talked about Resident Evil's on the bundle. What else we got here? Raw's kind of neat for what is it going to be, $1.50? That's kind of an interesting game. I love Recore, but it's on Game Pass. Red Dead, $20, for Red Dead, so not a great deal, but not a bad deal. $20 for Redfall. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody loves Redfall. Kevin got back to me. Remnant 2 and 1. If you want Dark Souls but with guns, that's the Remnant series. The third one's being worked on. And then we got some other Resident Evil canon fodder. So for the Resident Evil series, the triple pack's pretty good. But, these are the old versions of these Resident Evil games. 6. They were supposed to do remasters for these, but I don't know whatever happened to those. Remasters. And then you got your different bundles for different Resident Evil stuff, so it's kind of what you want. If you're buying Resident Evil 2 and stuff though, always go for the bundled, Raccoon City is a good deal, or again the remake trilogy pack is pretty great. Yeah. And the Revelations are usually the bundle is a better deal to buy the bundled thing, because you get the stuff from the DLC and the outfits. Raccoon City, that one's okay, FPS boosted, $4, not bad. Tomb Raider, always buy the Tomb Raider bundle. It's not showing up, but the Tomb Raider bundle is pretty good. Well, actually, it's a must-buy package. Rise, good game, but it's on Game Pass. Saints Row 3, $9. It's a classic game, lots of fun. What else we got here? We have your likes on the stream, subscribance, great donations, cool. Consider becoming a channel member gifting, the Patreon option, and the Discord for stream alerts. There's also the Amazon store affiliate link. And don't be afraid to splash some cash. I got a house to fucking pay for now. Scars Above, $6. Actually pretty fun. Seriously, it's not a bad third-person shooter. It's kind of like a AA game, but for $6, not bad at all. Scribble Knots. This is really, really good for the young ones. Encourages like word play and word creation and stuff like that. And $6 is really, really good for that. Seriously. A couple Sherlock Holmes games. These ones are okay little adventures. You kind of get good time value out of those. The Sims. Back to school. Cats and dogs and parenthood. Fun outside. Cats and dogs. City living. Get together. Oh my god. Get to work. Live lavishly bundle. Seasons. Get famous with The Sims. Island living. Discover University. In an eco lifestyle, Snowy escaped Love Struck for Rent package. There's Horse Ranch and growing together through our high school years so that we can have cottage living and enjoy both life and death. Damn, that's pretty crazy. And then there's bundled packages. And you can have an outdoor retreat in Strangerville that leads into a jungle adventure of parenthood where you become vampires and dine out and have a nice spa day together. But it's always kind of hidden within the realm of magic as you journey to Bat 2 for some dumb reason. And then you dreamed home decorate your wedding stories with werewolves. It's a luxury party in your kids' room. A romantic garden movie hangout that's spooky with cool kitchen and the perfect patio. It's backyard vintage glamour, bowling night, fitness, toddler, laundry day combinations, which you throw together for a home chef hustle as your paranormal ghosts come with nifty knitting and your tiny living environment, and you just have a little bit of machino in your life. Skate 3, if you want to buy to own. Skaper is actually really adorable. It really is. It's like Tony Hawk, but you're a bird. It's actually adorable. Kong, obviously one of the all-time classics for $10. Kong Skull Island. Yeah, that's where it's at. You got your Skyrims. Slay the Princess, people are recommending. I don't know about that. Slime Rancher is adorable. Never kept up with Slime Rancher 2 as much. Snaky Bus. This game is crazy, man. I don't think I've ever seen this for sale on here. You just, like, snake together giant buses. It's crazy. I should do a video on that. Smallland, kind of an alternative, more mature version of Grounded. What else we got here? Sonic Frontiers, you know, if you want some Sonic stuff. And then there's Soul Calibur. I would definitely recommend grabbing Soul Calibur at some point. Eventually they'll delist all this stuff, right, because of all the DLC. South Park stuff's pretty regularly priced. You got your SpongeBob stuff. They just added this to Game Pass, but these two, pretty fun 3D platformers. Squirrel with a Gun. I think this is the first time we've seen Squirrel with a Gun on sale. $12, yes. It's actually crazy. Star Trek Resurgence, if you're a Star Trek fan, this is a really good, it's like a Telltale game. Very, very well done. Definitely worth playing. All the Star Wars crap, Starfield stuff, State of Decay stuff. The SteamWorld series is very, very good if you like platformers. Very, very good. Stellaris, which is like Civilization at Space. Kevin really likes that one. Yeah, okay, what else we got here? Story of Seasons, which are remakes of Harvest Moon games, but better. Very, very good bang for your buck off of those. Stuffed is like Call of Duty Zombies, but like kiddish, which is neat. Submerged is really cool for $2. There's Submerged and Submerged Hidden Depths, which is the sequel. Highly recommend buying both of those games. They are quite neat little adventures, quirky little things. What else we got here? Sunset Overdrive, great, but it's on Game Pass, so you know. Super hot. Super Sammy Roll. Uh-oh. Oh, the store I thought broke there for a second. There's Survivor, which actually emulates Survivor, but it's not great. Siberia is a neat series. This game's actually really beautiful. And Symmetry is neat if you like Two Crowns. Yeah, Two Crowns. It's like that, but in space. It's brutally difficult. System Shock, you know, kind of an old school thing, the precursor for Bioshock. Tales of Arise, I always recommend that one. Great JRPG. They got a couple of the Tales stuff on sale. Turtles, the Turtles Cowabunga Collection, some of the best Turtle games ever. And then Shredder's Revenge is absolutely a gem. Very, very good. Hack and slash melee beat 'em up. Oh, there's the Terminator Resistance Complete Edition. So that's a better deal than the other one, so you get the actual current gen version. Oh, what else we got here? The set's pretty cool. That's a Cyberpunk twin stick, $6. Not terrible for it. Hmm. You got the Dark Picture series stuff, all $10 each. Elder Scrolls Online. It's on Game Pass though. Evil Within, again Game Pass, but if you want to buy to own. The Fall's a really cool series, but it's incomplete. There's supposed to be 3, and they never did the 3rd one. Yeah. The Invincible is kind of a neat adventure game. That one's kind of cool if you're into like sci-fi kind of stuff. The Medium I like if you like Silent Hill type stuff. It's kind of like that. The Quarry's fun. I thought this was on Game Pass. Maybe they took it off it. That's a fun little Telltale-like thing. $10 for it. It's not terrible. The Surge, if you like Dark Souls, it's a Souls-like, but you're fighting robots and stuff. $10, pretty good. The Ultimate Hunting game is Hunter Call of the Wild, of course, but that's on Game Pass. $3 for Thief. Thief is a terrible game, but for $3, it's not bad. This one I kind of wanted to actually check out, but probably won't pay that price for it, though. Thymesia, another Dark Souls indie thing. We got like Tomb Raiders. So the Tomb Raider Survivor Trilogy is your best value here. You get the 3 games and all the DLC, all the great stuff, at fantastic sale. And then if you want to buy other Tomb Raider stuff, it's like $13. This is like $3. This is pick your poison for Tomb Raider stuff, right? Toy Story 3 is pretty good for the younger ones. But this actually became a pretty decent spring sale, honestly. Trine is a pretty good series for $10. It's really worthwhile. I got your Turoks. Turbo Overkill just came out. You have the Chainsaw Leg. It's a boomer shooter. Pretty fun. But yeah, if you want your Turok games, like $5 a pop. They just did a next-gen version for Turok 1. I'm theorizing the second one's going to get that too soon, but I don't know for sure. Valheim, kind of an open world survival game. $10, not too bad. Vampire I recommend. That's a fun role playing game where you're a vampire doctor, but it's like, do you kill people? Do you not kill people? The world changes. Pretty great. Virginia is kind of a neat little small adventure for $3 or something. It's not bad. And what else we got here? Okay, lots of other stuff. World War Z is really good, but that's on Game Pass, so don't necessarily need to buy that one. A zombie driver. Just drive around his little car destroying zombies. That's one I recommend. For that price, that's really good. Very, very good for that price. Okay, what else we got here? I think we're getting to the part where it's DLC. Alright, so now we're gonna go over the best stuff. Like, kind of the best of the best. The stuff that it's like, yeah, you should definitely check this out. So we're going to be going through it pretty quickly, but I'm just going to be picking stuff that's like, hey, this is really, really good. Incredible value, blah, blah, blah. So bear with me as we roll through this. I'd say it's your pretty standard spring sale, though. There wasn't anything like super out of the ordinary. The Tomb Raider pack, must buy. Very, very good. Very, very good. Let's see what else we got here. The Surge pack for under $10 is actually a pretty good deal if you're into Dark Souls like stuff. What else do we got? I'd say the Submerged games together, it's like $5 for 2 of them. Those are pretty fun adventures. Snaky Boss for $3 is kind of fun. It's dumb. It's enjoyable. The Sims. I'm not going through that again. No siree. I Simsed enough for today. Scars Above for $6 is kind of decent. The Resident Evil triple pack, I think, is the best bang for your buck out of this. Or Revelations 1 and 2 for $7.49 is pretty good. Let's see what else we got here. Again, Onimusha, you know, half off if you want to get prepared for the second one coming. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD for $4 is really good. The Injustice and Mortal Kombat 11 combo pack for $10, but it goes on sale like that all the time. The Shadow Mordor package, Shadow Bundle, really good for under like $7. The Metro Saga bundle, but again, one of them is supposed to be free soon, so you know, kind of keep that in mind. Gollum for $6. You gonna help poor Gollum out? The Lego Marvel collection, again, incredible deal. Yeah, incredible deal. Kingdom Come 1 for 10, and then Kenna for 20 is pretty good. We've been waiting for those games. Jade Empire for $2 is amazing. Definitely worth checking out. What else we got here? Guardians of the Galaxy for $10. Really, really great game. High recommend. Gravel for a few dollars is actually quite excellent. Again, for that price, it's really, really good. Gotham Knights, cheap for $10, but I think it's going to be that price for a long time going forward. Talked about all those bundles. Lots of other stuff. A lot of it's just kind of usually price stuff. The Crisis Trilogy package for $3, absolutely fantastic. Very, very good shooter games. Great price. I think the best we've seen. Bunny Park for $3. Yeah, Bunny Park. And Bugsnax for $7.49 is really, really good. Seriously, Bugsnax is an incredible game if you've never played it. Bioshock, the collection for $10 is amazing. The Beach Buggy games are great for the younger ones for a few dollars each. Various Creed packages. Vertigo. I actually really like this one. Always recommend that one. I think it's pretty neat. I think we're getting close to the end. Robocop to prepare for the sequel thing or expansion. And the Mafia Bundle Trilogy for $15, the 3 games, always worth recommending. Death Stranding 50% off. I don't necessarily recommend it, but you know, it's cheap. Same with Hogwarts Legacy for $20. Not bad at all. And this is the deepest cut we've seen for Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah. The Stalker Trilogy pack again, because the next gen update's coming for it. Next gen update's coming for it in the near future. And that's it. That's the spring sale. So hopefully this was helpful. We went through everything. And we're going to switch over and do some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered in a sec here. So hopefully you can join in and watch that. And don't forget to like the video on the way out. And subscribing's great and all that other stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in comments.